sun gon' rise, the earth gon' spin. Toby gon' kill this beat, a chef gon' cook. You still don't get no looks. No better than Tech Bro Shook.
Nevada, where the memorial torch honoring legendary. And we are set for football at Allegiant Stadium. Today we've got a fun little clash in the AFC, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Underway at Allegiant Stadium. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
As I remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia, he was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Now a run. Here's the first-round pick from April's draft. He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Here's Smith. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
So on fourth down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Shifts by him at the 25. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And we've seen the flashes throughout his 4 years in the league, but he's coming off an injury-riddled season where he only played 10 games. Has to eliminate the costly turnovers at 52 in 4 seasons. And he's hoping the new coach, Liam Cohen, can unlock his untapped potential, and it has to happen right now.
And down he goes, brought down the Raiders set. Max Crosby. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Here's Lawrence to throw. That's complete. It's Brian Thomas. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
And the Jaguars first down.
Now Lawrence to throw. A short throw there to Strange. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 27 yards there, a first down.
Gain of 27 on the play. First down, Jacksonville.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Lawrence. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Brian Thomas from 21 yards away. And the Jaguars are on the board first here in Vegas. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Point after here coming up. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars.
Jaguars 7.
That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not much happening on the return as they get this to about the 23. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. We talked about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
That's good. Las Vegas, first down. First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Valuable lesson, man. I had to grow up. That's why I never asked for help.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield. Everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. They'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
So I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On first down, it's Genty, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defense in front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Gino now to throw. That's complete. It's Ashton Jeanty. Shifts past him. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
What a drive this has been. Just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of the best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now Gino. And Smith able to move the chains before sliding down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. They'll get this out to Jeanty. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the gun, here's Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Brock Bowers from 3 yards out. And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. They kick it away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as these guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Jags offense and Brian Thomas getting set to take over once more. And he's had an early impact on the game. Sensational so far. And they'll likely be looking to find more ways to get him involved. Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Lawrence will throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Lawrence will give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
That is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage
inside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So on fourth down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. Back deep for the Raiders is Trey Tucker. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The Raiders offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. Offense set to get this drive started. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I don't know much of physical reaction watching what's happening right now. Let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. A little bit of a breakdown there defensively, and the RPO turns into a big chunk play.
And when you think about running offense, the word comes to mind, assignments, right? Because you have to carry those out. But you have to play assignment football on defense, too, against a team that runs these RPOs because everyone has to be in the right place. Who's got the quarterback? Who's got the running back? Who's covering the receivers? This will work quite well on that play.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Gino. He'll drop this underneath for Genty. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 26. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Off of play action, here's Smith. Throw right side, looked in here by Besh. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Brings up 2nd and
2. To the air again, Smith. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. And the Raiders are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Well, he does have one touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him first and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a second time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here as they go to work on a first and goal. Toward the pylon, caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here's another first and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. Smith throwing again. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal.
That's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
To throw is Smith. Over the middle, he's got Myers. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Now it's Smith. Touchdown! Trey Tucker, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
On for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that with an 8-play drive, it spans 75 yards. And it winds up at 6 points for the Raiders. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
They'll start on the ground. ETN looking for a seam to find him now. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Jaguars.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. Hunter now will go in motion left. Play action. It's Lawrence. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And now it's 2nd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him,
and try and cover him before he gets going.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunter. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Hunter, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from drawing level.
Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watch the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and he's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd
As
down.
expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing is Smith. That's caught by Tucker. Oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Cole now on to punt, and he sends this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 15. He'll look to ETN to start things out. Oh, what a juke into space. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. The safeties were well back there, and he had a lot of room. Were they in the cover too?
Yeah, they were, and the safeties were back. You know, usually they're 12 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, somewhere around the hash mark for each of them. But what also happens if the linebackers dive into the line, if you block them initially, that blocker can come off of them and get up to the safeties on the 2nd level. And now you've got a big place to run the football.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And that will bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Raiders' 41-yard line.
ETN up the middle. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 52 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
First down, Jaguars.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another first down run right there.
On play action, Lawrence. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Hunter. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And this is where play action can be so effective. Your running game's been the driving force of this possession. So as a defense, you start shifting your focus towards stopping the run. But if an offensive coordinator sees that, he can take advantage, and they get good yardage there.
That's a good hard running there as he pushes way forward for about 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4. And they'll go again with ETN. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Lawrence. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get it, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
That's caught by Tucker. And he gets us with just shy of the 40 down at the 39. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 to the first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Smith now to throw. Open man is Myers. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. And they'll run it here. And that play going absolutely nowhere. They sniffed it out from the start, and it'll turn into a big loss.
Back at the 47-yard line.
Now, after the loss, he'll have to navigate a 2nd and 17. Myers in motion right. Play action. It's Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now ETN to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Max Crosby, the one who got in there for the stop. Trying to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
Second and 9. In motion right here, Washington. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here now a 3rd down and 8. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Lawrence to throw. A beautiful fake. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And they do have terrific starting field position, but no timeouts to work with, so they'll need to operate quickly. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Out of the gun, Smith. His throw incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Geno now to throw. Here's Tucker, complete on the right side. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hanson with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hanson with you from the EA Studios in Orlando. This has been a heck of a game so far. Just a field goal separating these two squads. You have to imagine both sides are trying to figure out how to clean things up, put some touchdowns up in the second half. Let's find out what goes on in the 3rd quarter. Back out to the stadium and our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. Difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this 3rd quarter. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Second half starts with a run by Etienne. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Across midfield. He's on his way. Travis Etienne. Touchdown, Jaguars. Travis Etienne, 75 yards. And the Jaguars come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Now the try here for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Now the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small magical spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
The drive will begin with a run by Genty. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there. The drive starting very nicely. First down.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Well, he gave one defender the slip, but others waiting in the wings and dropping him behind the line. He's still having trouble moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, so much for halftime adjustment. Sometimes the best adjustment you make is no adjustment. You just do things better. But in this case, I think an adjustment was in order. They may have to change up and start throwing the ball around a little bit more.
Short throw caught by Bowers. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Smith. That is caught. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. The Jaguars offense and Travis Etienne set to take over once again. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and shine.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
First play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Lawrence. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
A strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Las Vegas.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Emmanuel Agba finding his way to the ball for a big stop there behind the line of scrimmage.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
Open man is Tucker.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. Now it's Smith off the bootleg.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd and 3.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Smith.
He'll run for it. And Smith able to move the chains before sliding down.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 31.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
Gino going to hand it to Genty.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. This defense tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
They hand off to their big tight end. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Throwing now is Gino. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
But, Charles, you cannot say enough about that play by their special teams. Think about it. That keeps this game at 2 possessions in the 2nd half and really adds pressure to the opposition.
Yeah, it certainly does, especially their offense, and takes a lot of pressure off the offense of the team that's leading. They got a little bit more of a cushion to play with now. How about the thanks each guy was getting as they came off the field after that block? Special teams, certainly special in that situation.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Being chased out left. The 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Big yardage there on the scramble, and he gets him a first down.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
Now throw right side, we're going to be incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Third quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence. And he's got it. And the Jags are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Oh, nice job there, putting the ball right in the doorstep for the goal line. Couldn't quite get it to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Etienne will get it into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
They'll try here for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run. Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start on the ground with Genty. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That is Josh Hines-Allen getting in there to bring him down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll go again with Genty. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the second straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Result of the play is
the Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's a give to Bigsby. Down at the 25.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Getting the ball that time was Jeremy Chin. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Just a gain of a couple there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
Lawrence will throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Max Crosby getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Field goal try coming up here for the Jags. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
We're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
Looking to put a drive together. Now Smith. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets you to the 30.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of the game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front. Doesn't prepare for him to try and take off.
30-yard line.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Smith.
Short throw, caught by Bowers.
Given 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Tucker.
Give them 12 yards that time, and a Las Vegas first.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
That's to the Notre Dame man, Michael Mayer.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th, but a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, and they'll keep their heads up and continue to play.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
26-yard line.
Genty.
This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down moment.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Smith. Looking for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, the D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. At about the 32. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. They'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
Lawrence
called a gain of 3 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
Straight ahead, ETN. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 149 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Here's a give to ETN. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of first. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.